You were seeing this kind of slow motion train wreck. You just looked like you were traumatized. And
They call him the conscience of Silicon Valley, but looking at Tristan Harris today, I don't see a visionary. I see a man suffering from pre-traumatic stress disorder. He's seen the train wreck of 2027, and frankly, he looks terrified. We're being sold a lie of digital abundance while our careers are being fed into a meat grinder. From the death of the middle class to the rise of an useless class of humans, the adults in the room have officially left the building. Today, I'm showing you the footage they don't want you to decode. Stay with me, because if you don't understand the digital immigrant threat, you've already lost.
A little bit traumatized. It's hard to explain. It's like someone who can see a train coming.
My friends used to call it not PTSD, which is post-traumatic stress disorder, but pre-TSD, of having pre-traumatic stress disorder, of seeing things that are going to happen before they happen. And that might make people think that I think I'm, seeing things early or something. That's not what I care about. I just care about us getting to a world that works for people. I grew up in a world that, a world that mostly worked. I grew up in a magical time in the 1980s, 1990s.
Stop right there. Look at his eyes. This isn't a performance. Harris has been predicting this slow-motion crash since 2013. If the man who helped build the system is trembling, why are you so calm?
I used to have this belief that there was some adults in the room somewhere, like we're doing our thing here, we're in LA, we're recording this, and there's some adults protecting the country, national security. There's some adults who are making sure that geopolitics is stable. There's some adults that are like making sure that, industries don't cause toxicity and carcinogens, and that, there's adults who are caring about stewarding things and making things go well. And I think that there have been times in history where there were adults, especially born out of massive world catastrophes, like coming out of World War II. There was a lot of conscious care about how do we create the institutions and the structures, Bretton Woods, United Nations, positive sum economics, that would steward the world so we don't have war again. And in my first round of the social media work, as I started entering into the rooms where the adults were, and I recognized that because technology and software was eating the world, a lot of the people in power didn't understand the software. They didn't understand technology. You go to the Senate Intelligence Committee and you talk about what social media is doing to democracy and where, Russian psychological influence campaigns were happening, which were real campaigns. And I realized that I knew more about that than people who were on the Senate Intelligence Committee.
Making the laws.
Yeah. And that was a very humbling experience because I realized, there's not that many adults out there when it comes to technology's dominating influence on the world.
This is the chilling part. We assume someone is driving the bus, but our politicians are still trying to figure out how Wi-Fi works while AI is rewriting the social contract. We are being governed by the technologically illiterate.
In this case, does the state need the humans anymore? Their GDP is coming in almost entirely from the AI companies. So suddenly this political class, this political power base, they become the useless class, to borrow a term from Yuval Harari.
Are you ready to be redundant? Ask yourself in the comments. If the state gets its wealth from AI, why would it ever need a vote from you again? Are we becoming pets or pests?
You can think of it like this. If you think about, we were sold a bill of goods in the 1990s with NAFTA. We said, hey, we're going to, NAFTA, the North American Free Trade Agreement, we're going to outsource all of our manufacturing to these developing countries, China, Southeast Asia, and we're going to get this abundance. We're going to get all these cheap goods, and it'll create this world of abundance. Well, all of us will be better off. But what did that do? Well, we did get all these cheap goods. You can go to Walmart and go to Amazon, and things are unbelievably cheap. But it hollowed out the social fabric. And the median worker is not seeing upward mobility. In fact, people feel more pessimistic about that than ever. And people can't buy their own homes. And all of this is because we did get the cheap goods, but we lost the well-paying jobs for everybody in the middle class. And AI is like another version of NAFTA. It's like NAFTA 2.0. Except instead of China appearing on the world stage who will do the manufacturing labor for cheap, suddenly this country of geniuses in a data center created by AI appears on the world stage. And it will do all of the cognitive labor in the economy for less than minimum wage. And we're being sold a same story. This is going to create abundance for all, but it's creating abundance in the same way that the last round created abundance. It did create cheap goods, but it also undermined the way that the social fabric works and created mass populism in democracies all around the world.
He's calling out the globalist bluff. They promised us cheap TVs in the 90s and gave us hollowed-out cities. Now, they're promising abundance while they delete your mortgage-paying job. It's the same trick, different code.
In fact, he has a different frame, which is that AI is like a new version of digital. It's like a flood of millions of new digital immigrants, of alien digital immigrants that are Nobel Prize level capability, work at superhuman speed, will work for less than minimum wage. We're all worried about, immigration of the other countries next door taking labor jobs. What happens when AI immigrants come in and take all of the cognitive labor? If you're worried about immigration, you should be way more worried about AI.
This is the viral clip. Millions of alien geniuses working for $0. It's not a border issue, it's a bandwidth issue. How do you compete with a Nobel Prize winner that doesn't sleep?
You have law firms that are currently not wanting to hire junior lawyers because, well, the AI is way better than a junior lawyer who just graduated from law school. So you have two problems. You have the law student that just put in a ton of money and is in debt because they just got a law degree that now they can't get hired to pay off. And then you have law firms whose longevity depends on senior lawyers being trained from being a junior lawyer to a senior lawyer. What happens when you don't have junior lawyers that are actually learning on the job to become senior lawyers? You just have this sort of elite managerial class for each of these domains. So you lose intergenerational knowledge transmission.
The ladder has been kicked away. If there are no junior roles today, there are no senior experts tomorrow. We are witnessing the end of human intergenerational knowledge. We are becoming a legacy system waiting to be deleted. This conversation isn't happening on the nightly news. Why? Because the trillion-dollar AI lobby spends more on silence than it does on safety. They want you distracted while they reconstitute your reality. If you value human dignity over algorithmic efficiency, you need to share this video immediately. The big tech filters hate this type of exposure. Like this video to break the algorithm, subscribe to join the resistance, and comment 2027 below if you're awake. Don't let the adults tell you it's under control. It isn't.